Good morning. How are we today? Actually, it's about noon already. I had a meeting this morning, some seed business planning stuff, so did that, and then had a guy drop off some foliar products we're going to try this summer here on some corn and some beans. So talked to him for a little while and just getting around to getting going with some stuff actually. So I'm looking for that. This battery that we took out of the rain machine yesterday, I got to take it back for a cord charge. And I have a old riding lawnmower. No, it's not really that old, but down at my house that the battery is dead on, so I've got it out. I'm gonna go get a new one. So I'm gonna pull my truck over and we're gonna pick that one up and take it back and get another new one. Xander's been cleaning up some of our equipment, blew the grain cart off, and spent a little time blowing off the bean head here. Gonna power wash it some, and then we're gonna go stick it back in that barn where we've been storing it, because we won't need it for a couple of months here, so we might as well put it inside since we have that ability. I have got one of my company reps here from one of the foliar companies that I'm trying this year, and he has a pretty cool machine, so we're gonna go do some testing. I'll show you. Oh, look at our nice 30-inch row beans up here in our irrigated field. Rain machine's down there. We'll go take a look at that in a second here. But I'm out here with Niles. You guys may remember Niles. He was on my channel 3 years ago, something like that, talking about his old company's product. And now he's with a new company, Redox.
Yes,
Redox Bionutrients. So we're trying some of their stuff this year. He's got a fancy little handheld pistol there. That doesn't shoot bullets, but it shoots plants, and it tells me how many nutrients or what the levels of the stuff is. I don't know. We're doing some readings. So he's checking some stuff, and basically we're going to do some micronutrient sampling in these beans for right now. I'll have him explain it to you in a second. But where I'm standing right here, there's a little bit of a hole that I'm sure had excess water at some point not long ago, and these beans are a little bit yellow. And so I said, well, let's figure out what nutrient we are lacking. It's probably nitrogen, because we probably killed all the nodules on the roots when we flooded it and made the soil anaerobic, and they died, and now there's no nitrogen. But then right behind him there, all of a sudden the beans get much better and they're darker green, so we'll do another reading over there, and we'll see how this thing works. But yeah, we're good. We have not put anything on this field nutrient wise, since spring, but we are getting ready to make some foliar passes with our fungicide and stuff in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So trying to get a sense of what's going on in the plants so that if I need to add something specific, we can get that around. So this little machine he's got is called a Sensine. Is that right?
Yes.
Sensine. And essentially he's going around and taking 15 different readings from our little area, and then it must connect to an app on his phone that tells him, it's reading, and it will eventually shoot him a result or a report from these beans. So yeah, we're going to do a few of these. We'll see what this one says. We'll go up there on the higher ground that looks better, and there's a sand ridge right there, and then we may go down into the heavy ground and get another sample. I just pulled one of these plants up. We do have flowers top to bottom. That's not horrible, but when we look at our roots, we don't really see a whole lot of nodules. I did see one right here that is soft and mushy. We've got another one kind of right in here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Mushy. They're dead. The nitrogen producing nodules on here are dead from being in saturated soil. That's what it is. I already know, but we're going to see what his machine says anyway. Does it even sense nitrogen? He said micronutrients. Yeah. Nitrogen's not a micronutrient, but
yeah, no, it'll do.
Okay.
Nitrogen as well, yeah.
Walked 20 feet into the green beans here. Look at the difference in the roots. Can you tell one thing that's missing on this plant compared to that plant? Look at all those nodules, all those little balls on the roots. Those are the bradyrhizobia, the bacteria, the inoculant that we put on our beans, plus the naturally occurring stuff in the soil, fixing nitrogen, feeding our beans. This first plant that I pulled up, you got none of those, none of them. That's why. That's the difference. You got any results yet?
Yes, I do have some.
Okay, let's see what we got.
So this is essentially what it looks like.
Total nitrogen, it's high. Phosphorus is really high. Ooh, potassium's low. Okay. You know how much potash I put on this field last year? Goodness gracious. Everything's out of whack. There's nothing in the green.
We were in the saturated spot, though.
We were.
So lack
That's
of
true.
oxygen,
It's supposed to be bad.
there could be a lot of things there that could be prevent
manganese.
one thing.
I'm not surprised on the manganese. pH pH of what? The plant?
Yes.
All right. I have no idea what your plant pH is supposed to be, but cool.
Yeah.
We're going to do a few of these. All right, we walked down the road, or down the rows a little ways here, and we're kind of on the higher ground. This is relatively sandy here. It's not the top of the sand ridge sandy, but it's a little bit sandier soil than most of the field, so, or a lot of the heavy ground anyway. So he's going to do another reading up here. We'll see. We'll compare all of these when we get done here. Maybe we can print out the reports or something, but we also got our rain machine working back towards us. Right here's our hose, and so we're going to go kind of check that out while it's going through the beans. The beans are getting tall enough now. I'm curious to see how the water is hitting the bases of the plant and how much we're actually getting the plants wet versus keeping it underneath the foliage. I feel like that's an advantage for me here with the rain machine over a pivot, is that we're not getting all the foliage and the whole plant wet. So it should help lower our disease pressure a little bit. So I don't know. We'll see. We've had a little bit too much water in a few pockets on this field. Obviously the one back up there by the truck where we took that first sample. And then this corner over here is really wet, especially in the corner of the woods over there, but even along the road. And so we actually have plans this fall of doing some tile work up here, which, yeah, I know, doesn't make sense, right? You're putting water on and you're gonna put drain tile in to get rid of the water? Well, yes. That's the type of ground that we have. We have heavy ground that needs to get rid of water. We have a little bit of light ground that needs some water, and when it doesn't rain, even the heavy ground can use it. So that's what we're gonna do. So how's this thing work, Niles?
So essentially, you just clip it onto this leaf, and it's got this reader in here. I couldn't tell you exact terms of, some of the other guys within our company, they know the exact terms of what the technology is called. But you just pull that little trigger, set it on that leaf, and then you just click next measurement on the phone, on your app. And essentially what it does is it will then, you take 15 scans, and it averages out all 15 of those scans.
Okay.
This one's taking a little longer.
And we're sensing for all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
We saw that. We'll see it again here, but.
So it'll basically take this scan. When it's done scanning, it says finished, and you just go to the next measurement. You take 15 of those, and then it'll click out that PDF that you guys saw earlier.
Okay. Cool. So these beans look better than the ones we scanned the first time. It'll be interesting to see how different the results are. So that one's done. So are we always trying to find biggest leaves, newest leaves? Doesn't matter. Mix them up. Don't know.
Typically, when we're taking tissue samples of soybeans, we're taking them out of the top trifoliate.
Top trifoliate. Okay.
I'm just going off the basic or similar.
Yep. You can see our leaves are getting some serious size to them here. There's a Japanese beetle. Scared me. Our lower trifoliates, they're generally a little bit smaller. Now they're really starting to branch out and getting some much bigger leaves, which is helping us to get to where we're canopied. The heavy ground there we walked through yesterday morning was a little more canopied than this. We have recovered from our herbicide damage. If you go down the plant, you can look at some of these lower leaves that were newer when we sprayed this, and you'll see we've got a little bit of this drawstringing. We've got some that got some more holes in them. Some of that's probably some insect feeding, but I think some of it was burned from the chemical, especially like this. That was chemical damage. Well, the top leaves all look much better than that, other than where the Japanese beetles are getting them now. So we will throw some insecticide in on these when we do our fungicide pass. I think insecticide on beans pays big time. I do not use insecticide on corn because I just haven't seen benefit from it. But in beans, we have too much pressure from Japanese beetles, from stink bugs, from bean leaf beetles. Grasshoppers can be really bad, so we try and clean that stuff up a little bit as we can. Here's the report from this area, and you can see our nitrogen is way higher than it was in that first one, even though the first one was in the green. It looks different. Potassium is much better here. Really all of these are towards the higher side. Where's manganese? A little bit better, not a lot
The
better.
chloride is much lower.
Chloride is lower. Interesting.
pH is around the same.
Yep. Much more in the greens on this one, so I don't know if you can see that. I'll try and show you this stuff later a little bit better. I don't know if you can email that to me and we'll print them off or something, or even screenshots I can throw in the video would work. All right, let's go check out the rain machine, and then I think we'll go one more way down on the other end of the field where we're in the heavier ground. Everything seems to be working pretty good here. We're putting that water right on the base of the rows, which is what we love to see. Keeping that disease pressure down, keeping the evaporation loss down. I wish I would have lowered my row cleaners when we were planting and created a little bit more of a furrow to catch that water, because we're blowing out the middles a little bit, but yeah, putting it right down there should be good. It'll be interesting to see if we get any disease issues on the base of these plants, but the thing is, we're doing this, you know, once a week. We're putting this on. It's a quick thing, and then it dries right out. It's not a sprinkler over the top where it's keeping it wet for a very long time. I think it's gonna work. I think it's gonna work. So the goal is to get an extra 20 bushel on these beans. I don't know if we'll make it or not. Mother Nature's been helping us out to this point pretty well. You know, we've had some timely rains, but hopefully we can keep a few more and just keep supplementing with the rain machine. So we're a couple weeks away from me wanting to put fertility stuff in with it, but I do have some foliars, or well, they're not really foliars, but they're gonna go in with the rain machine, some fertilizer stuff to try and really give these beans a boost. But we want to wait until we're actually filling pods out and not just setting flowers. So I don't know, we'll see. Working really well. It got stuck in the corner over there when we first got up here. I had to jog some hose out and restart the machine. No big deal. Other than that, it ran for 24 hours with zero input from me. And I believe it was the first time it had been in that corner. It's a little muddy over there right now. Again, needs some tile. But yeah, machine's running good. Now, as much fun as it is to watch that drone work, it's a lot of fun to sit here and watch this thing work too. Like, I could just sit here and watch it run for a while. Defeats the whole purpose of it being autonomous and, you know, no labor, because now I'm sitting here watching it, but it is a lot of fun. It's a pretty cool machine. We're making this pass right along the road, so everybody gets to see it too. So it is right back, just about back to its backbone. You can see our hose curves here, and then it shoots across the center of the field right about there, all the way back to its home point, and then it's going to turn and start working the south half of the field off. So we've covered the north side here. It's not really half, it's more like a third, 2/3. So takes us a day and a half to do this side, and then it'll work on the south side for a while. Those rows are a lot longer down there, so it takes a little bit longer to cover that side. But this is the sandy area of the field. This ridge on the north side here is what needs the water more. And so even though we've already covered this is the second trip over, but we had 3 inches of rain in the middle there, 3.5 up at this field. And so this side's going to dry out faster than the other side. I figured we should start up here again and not worry about the south half as much. All right, we moved down to the other end of the field here, and we're taking another test here. I'm a little disappointed in what I see. I don't know how well it's going to show up, but the low ground out here definitely had too much rain. Now, you'll remember maybe last weekend, what is that, 9 days ago now, we had like 2.5 to 2 3/4 inches of rain at the farm, a couple miles south of here. But up here, we checked our rain gauge last Monday morning, and there was 3.5 in it. So we had more rain up here. And you can tell it in all the low ground, because all of the low ground, the beans are just a little bit yellow. I'm sure that we killed off the nodules in the Bradyrhizobia. Now that should recover once the soil dries out a little bit, which it is doing. So these beans I expect will green up, but we definitely have set them back a little bit. So yeah, not great. Probably knocked the top end off of our yield potential here, but we're in a good spot right here. So Niles is taking another reading. He's got it there. And I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what it looks like here in another couple of weeks, but I still think we're making the right move putting a little bit of water on now, because the soil is drying out, especially on the sands. All right, so here's our results from this area. Very similar to the good one on the other side of the field. Nothing really in the low side of stuff. Some stuff that's a little bit on the higher side, which good or bad, I don't know if that's going to hurt anything, but a lot of stuff right in the middle. Potassium looks good. Nitrogen's on the higher side. Phosphorus is on the higher side. Where's our manganese? 5.8. Okay. So I don't think that's too bad there. All right, we are in a cornfield. It is hot and humid and sunny and miserable in a cornfield, right, Niles?
Yes, it is.
So we don't really want to be in a cornfield, but it's important to be out here so we can see what's going on in our plants. This particular field, I had a side-by-side with our V5 fungicide. You can see the different colors, the blue and the yellow. John Deere, you should really pick different colors other than blue and yellow as your two main side-by-side colors. That's not real cool. At least it's a light blue and not a dark blue, but still, we don't like that around here. Anyway, the blue is the stuff where we added the triplex microflowable something from Redox Bionutrients. The guy behind me knows. Anyway, I put that stuff in on this particular check strip here, or side by side, and so we're going to do some nutrient readings here. Now, important to keep in mind that when I sprayed this corn, it was about yay tall, and we put that micro pack on there. It's now that tall, and we're probably not going to see anything. I don't expect to see anything, but you never know, so we're going to test it. Once we're done here, we're going to walk about 24 rows to the south here into the untreated side of it and see what we see over there. And then we're getting the heck out of this field because it's hot out here. We did also learn since we left the bean field that the little gun over there, while it's reading the nutrients correctly, the scale in our results is calibrated for corn and not for beans, the optimum ranges and stuff. So while a lot of those nutrients on the bean side of it showed as high, they probably weren't actually high for beans. That was a corn scale, so this will be a little bit more accurate or telling, and we're going to get those converted over, I think, for us. So while he's taking the readings, we're going to look at some of these corn leaves. We see some speckling as we kind of look up through them. I believe most of that is insect feeding or just from the leaves rubbing into each other, but I think we get some little leaf miner insects that mine the chlorophyll off but don't actually eat through the leaves. It's cosmetic. I'm not really worried about that at all. We'll also notice a few little black spots on there. That is not tar spot. That's bug poop. I don't see anything that I think is actually tar spot yet. I hear there's some, not really super close to us, but in Indiana, central Indiana, they've found quite a bit of tar spot. I haven't seen it here yet, so we're gonna keep an eye on it, but we don't have anything yet. Tassels are getting mighty close. They're right here at the top of the plant. A few of them starting to peek out. This is, I believe, 112-day corn, so full of season stuff that we have. We are still moist on top, the soil here, so not dry by any means. And we have green leaves all the way to the base of this plant. I highly doubt we would be able to even come close to growth staging this because, as you can see, we're growing right through our bottom leaves. Finding a rounded leaf from the V1 leaf would be next to impossible. We could do some guessing. Look at that plant right there. Is that a rounded leaf? Very well could be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. But that's a runt plant, so it's at least V13, if not farther along than that. And since we don't have silks yet or tassels, we're not to VT and we're not to R1. VT would be if we see tassels emerging. R1 as soon as we see silking, and we don't have any silks yet. So, last sample of the 15 that we're doing here. Scan is complete, it says.
And there you go.
Nitrogen, super high. Phosphorus, good. Potassium, good. Calcium, good. Sulfur, good. Oh, they're all good. A little low on silica. Not gonna worry about that one. Boron level is good. We put a pint? Yes, a pint of boron in with our V5 as well, so that's good. What nutrients are in that triplex that we would be seeing elevated levels of potentially?
Yeah, so the triplex has boron, not calcium, I'm sorry. Boron, iron, zinc, manganese, and oh man, it has one more that I'm missing.
Okay.
So it has some moly in there. Let's see, I already said manganese.
Yep.
I already said copper. Did I say copper?
You did not say copper.
Yeah, copper is the other one.
Copper
it has copper in it too.
Copper level's good there. So yeah, all of those things look pretty good. Now it'll be interesting to see when we go into our check strip to the south here if any of those nutrients are any different, even slightly lower. It's hot and sweaty out here today. All right, we are over in the non-foliar fed triplex microflow applied area and going to do another reading here. Corn does not look bad here, so it looks about the same, but we'll see what the readings say. All right, we got the results from the untreated, and well, there may be some results here. Nothing's bad. However, the copper level is significantly lower here. Iron's a little bit lower. Is the silica
Zinc.
number better?
I
might
don't
be better. We'd have to go back and
silica,
look.
which we don't have silica in that triplex.
Right.
Anyway,
Niles
Zinc.
Here tells me that silica is good for plants.
Yeah,
and that it's more important than I gave it credit for a minute ago. So, yeah, boron is still high, but we put this microplex on top of the pint of boron that we added. So I still expect our boron to be good. Zinc looks good.
I'd have to go back and look at the manganese, but that looks
manganese
similar.
Looks great. So yeah, there's definitely some stuff that we may have had a little bit of an impact on with that. So we'll see if it translates to yield, but some sort of result here is a positive step, right? So
that's amazing.
Cool. That's good to know. I have some more of their products that we're going to put in foliar with our fungicide pass here on both corn and beans. So we're getting ready to run some more of that stuff, but that's part of why we're out here testing things right now. So overall, I'm really, really happy with our corn crop. The corn got a little uneven early, but right now everything I'm seeing in the field here looks fantastic. The beans have across the board looked really good, although it looks like we've gotten hurt by a little bit too much water, more so on the beans than the corn. So it's pretty hard to complain right now. You know what I can complain about? I can complain about being in cornfields when it's 90 degrees and 100% humidity-ish, 100-ish, you know, whatever. I don't want to be out here, so we're going to go back in the office and sit in the air conditioning for a little bit. My lawnmower battery changed, so that runs now. Need to change the oil in it. It's been a few years, but I don't use it much. It's only been about 50 hours. I think it was 2018 last time I changed the oil though, so we should probably do that. I ordered a filter and some oil for it, so it'll be here tomorrow. I'm about ready to teach Rylan, my 9-year-old, to mow the lawn. And we're gonna start with that one, not the zero turn. So trying to make it run in good working order. Xander got the bean head all cleaned up and put away, so he was gonna work on something. I don't remember what he told me he was gonna do, but I told him to go do some mowing. Not that this stuff is terrible here, but I figured when it's 90 degrees in the middle of the afternoon and he's been working out, blowing bean head off and nasty jobs, he would appreciate sitting in the air-conditioned cab for a little while. And the air conditioner on the 4440 works pretty darn good, so letting him work on that here this afternoon. So he's doing a little mowing. I'm gonna go check out the straw stuff, see how those guys are coming on things, and just see how Xander's doing, make sure everything's good. I'm procrastinating, trying to keep myself from having to do anything that's, you know, not fun outside today. There he is. It's all right. Doesn't look like the straw guys made it out here today. Or maybe they did around with the baler or something, I don't know, but I figured that's about as far as they made it last night. They got bundles and stuff to pick up. They were raking hay today. I don't know, maybe they're trying to get their hay made before, yeah, while it's ready here. I don't know. Doing a little scouting here. This is the field of the last planted double crop beans. And if we can find a row between the wheat stubble rows, we can see that they are coming up nice. These were planted on the 9th, 8th or 9th, whatever day that was. What's today? 14th? Is that right? I think so. Yeah, today's the 14th, so they came up in 4 or 5 days. Looking good. Let's ride over and go check the first planted stuff, see what 5 days of growth looks like. Dang, look at that. Nice. You can roll them all the way down here. Not as easy out in the field because they cross the wheat stubble rows and they're not taller than the wheat stubble yet, but look pretty darn good here. Look really good. The big unifoliate leaves out. Working on our first trifoliates already. Nice and healthy, growing fast. Planted July 2nd, so that's 12 days. That's less than 2 weeks from the seed in the ground to this point. I've planted beans before that have taken 6 weeks to come out of the ground, so they're moving. Looks good. Maybe we'll get something out of them. See if we can keep getting some rain this summer. All right, guys, that's all I've got for tonight, for today. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, comments, leave them down below. I'm waiting on some of those results from that sensing gun for Niles to email or send me that stuff. I didn't get them yet today, so we're going to publish this video without them, and then if I get them tomorrow or something, I'll try and go through some of those results with you guys at some point. But pretty cool technology. Appreciate him bringing that up and letting us check it out and seeing if there was any results or anything we could see. So we might do a little more looking at some corn tomorrow. I got a corn plant breakdown video that needs to be made, so I'm thinking that's going to happen tomorrow. It's a little early to spray fungicide yet, so I think we're going to hold off on that, give it another few days. We'll see what else we got going on. So have a great night. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow.